Let me show y'all something here. You guys know I preach about, proper bee space and keeping things aligned, and it's not always easy when you're using natural combs or cutout combs. A lot of times the bees tend to make them curvy, wavy, and not be quite so perfectly square as you would hope for. So here's a really good example. I've showed you before, how to do cutouts within my own hives to fix things, and this is much like that. This particular comb here that I've got rubber banded in now, they had pulled it out on this end, and on this end, on the opposite side of the frame, looking down here, the whole thing bulged out about a half an inch, which meant it was encroaching on this comb to its next side, which is not necessarily, this one is not, it's caved in, basically shallow on this side, but it's not drawn deep on this side, so it's okay. What they've done here is they bulged this one out that direction, and then they had built this whole piece of comb on the same side of the frame. So you basically got a double comb. Clearly that's a problem, because as the beekeeper, I can't see what's between this comb here and the back side of this one here. So what I've done is went in, cut this one loose, bent it very carefully to try to bend it back into shape, and then rubber banded it in. Since I cut it loose, rubber banded it back into the frame, and this one I've cut out, and I'm going to scrap it. If I had another hive that had medium frames that could use it, I can see about transferring it. Maybe I do. I'll take it over in the yard. I've got one other box that's got a mediums in it. See if I can transfer it. But if I can't, don't feel bad about throwing that out. Yes, you're throwing out a little bit of honey and pollen and brood, but in the grand scheme of things, they can replace that in a day. So it's not that big of a deal. It's really critical that you get in your boxes and you check and make sure this stuff is square and properly lined up. You see something out of line, don't panic about it. Please don't close the box up and just say you'll fix it later, because I promise you it will get worse. So, maybe one of those things, when you go to your hive, when you go to your bee yard, be ready, have a pocket full of rubber bands just in case, because you never know. I mean, this hive did it here because we're in a really thick honey flow right now, and rather than move up into their super, they tried to overdraw the brood chamber. So they started curving things and pulling things all sorts of funky, trying to find space. So, easily fixable. You don't have to waste a whole lot. Just trim out, cut out what you can, bend it straight, strap it back in place to help them out, and you will thank yourself later.